Marilyn, this is delightful to get to meet with you again. You were in the last Game Changer book. You're in this one as well. So I got to read a little bit more of your story. It's wonderful that you're part of this Game Changer too. So tell anybody that's listening to this video a little bit about you, who you are, what you do.
So I've been a relationship, communication, and a business consultant for about 35 years. And now I'm doing coaching on relationships and communication for business and personal. And in fact, my business website is called Your Journey to Lasting Love. But the skills that we use for love relationships, a lot of it applies to all our relationships. Kids, our neighbors, our bosses, our colleagues,
our husbands.
Our husbands, absolutely, yes, for sure.
Business partners.
Yes, it's all, yeah. So, yeah, definitely it's about partnership, whether it's with your children or your spouse, your lover, your boss. I'm not saying they're the same.
So why did you decide, your chapter was in the last Game Changer and now you've decided to be in this Game Changer? What prompted that for you?
Well, what I did in the Game Changer 2 is I talked about my journey from being single and never wanting to get married and being really a happy single to connecting with my husband. When I did the work and I was really a happy single and I didn't care, so I was judging my partners based on, was I happy with them? Did I feel at home? Did I feel respected and appreciated and honored for my gifts? And did I feel that way about them? And so a few years after I'd really settled in, I connected with my husband, you know, as I say in the book, and we got married within a year. And I gave up my life in DC and I moved to Dallas, became an instant stepmom and grandmother. And that's basically where my story in Game Changer 2 ended. So I decided to come into this book. For one thing, there's so many awesome people we have in this book. And so I wanted to be a part of it, and this is like my part 2.
It's wonderful. And having read both your stories now, I see why you wanted to. Just wanted to hear from you. So what in this chapter or in your story, could you give a few extra details or just something that you didn't add in the chapter but you'd like to add now?
So one of the things that I see in my journey, and you know, I think we're never there because there's always, even if things are great in your relationship, there's illness, there's
life.
Losses that we have, there's life, yeah. And so it takes something to dance with some of the challenges. And so in my journey, I am just continually uncovering deeper and deeper levels of how my relationship with my father has impacted me in my relationships with men. And many people, if you've done any work, you know that your relationships with your parents impact you. But I am now seeing some of the subtleties of that. And one of the things that I realized is, and it's, really underlying my story, is that my dad was a good man, but he wasn't really a connector. He wasn't expressive. And there was always this distance between us. And one of the reasons why I didn't want to get married is it didn't look like that good of a relationship to me. My parents, I mean, they were okay, but that connection wasn't what I wanted. I wanted a man who would really express his love. And my dad didn't do that to my mom, and it broke my heart. And I think at one point, in the first book, I don't remember, but at one point I think I wrote about this, that I realized, oh, my mom really wasn't as unhappy as I thought she was. That was my stuff. but still, I had my own thing with my dad where he never really just was like, baby, I love you. You're my girl. I'm so proud of you. I had to like pull it out of him. And when it came to Chuck, I realized after a few years of marriage, the chapter in Game Changer 3 is my awakening, where I really wasn't all in. And so some of that was from transferring my fear of my dad to my husband.
It's amazing what life does that way, and our journey to understanding even ourselves, so that, and it takes understanding ourselves so that we can serve the world in the right way.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, one of the things for me is I was single for almost 30 years, and I've been married for 20 years. We just had our 20th a few months ago. So I feel like I feel this is maybe what my legacy is in business, is not all the stuff I've done, but what I'm doing now, because I know what it's like to be single. I know what it's like to be suffering and to be happy. And I know what it's like to have a marriage that works. And it was not easy to go from all about me to stepkids, grandkids, and a partner.
Quite a transition. That's quite a transition.
Right. It is, yeah. So
your main message throughout the book is what? What's your main
message?
Your chapter. Yeah.
So I would say it's we're not born, well, in the background, it's like we're not born with the communication and the relationship skills that we need to be highly functioning in any roles in relationships, as a parent, as a partner, in a committed, loving relationship, and at work. We're not taught these skills. Right. And it's possible if someone like me, who never wanted to get married, could have and my longest relationships when I was single was 2 years. And then I got married, and now I've been married 20 years. Like, if I could do that, I wasn't born with it. And it took something, but it's worth doing that work. And you can change your relationships, and you can change yourself.
Yeah, I've been married. We just last Saturday celebrated 11 years, but I was 30 before I married the first time, had 2 children, and then was immediately divorced within 3 years, and raised those girls, my 2 daughters, by myself for 20 years.
Wow.
And so, you know, to walking into a good and happy and strong relationship, and understanding your own shortcomings, and realizing that whatever happened in the past is not the barometer of of the type of good man that I have now, you know. Yeah. The beauty of that, and learning how to be all in and trust is huge, you know. And there was a reason he came into my life. That it's, you know, so I understand and can relate to your journey.
Yeah, that's inspiring. And you know, a lot of times when you have had a divorce, or even just breakups, you just carry all that baggage on your shoulders and drag it along with you. I don't want this. I don't want him to drink. I don't want him to be a workaholic. I don't want him to like football. I don't want him to.
Pretty soon.
Like, yeah, really, there's no room to move. And if they did that to us, we'd hate it. We'd be like, I am not your ex.
Yeah.
Right. But yet we do that. So it's so great when we can let that baggage go.
Just relax and be
in the moment with them right now, and appreciate whatever they offer.
There's pure beauty in that, but it's being willing to do the work that goes with that.
Yeah.
And also learning to trust and to believe in yourself, because if you got to take care of the you that's behind all of that. Right. And take that journey to the healing that you need to be, the things that kept you away from that kind of love all these years, you know?
And you know, one of the things that I've learned is that a lot of us, when we start the journey, we're afraid. We're afraid we're going to see things about ourselves that we don't like. Shame and guilt come up. But if you can just be kind to yourself and let that go and find a coach, because it's hard to do it on your own. Find a coach that you feel safe with and feel like you can be yourself totally, then what a gift that is, because we all have the capability to grow and develop and be the person we really want to be.
It's a beautiful gift.
But not in fear,
right.
in love.
In love. Yep, and that's the key. And for any of us living, you know, there's not one of us escape the hard things in life that make us become the people that we are. And it's what we do about it and how much we're willing to grow and to change and to live and value what we have. And so I can relate to your story, and I think there's many others that will too.
Yeah.
So what's the best way for if somebody's reading your chapter, what's the best way for them to contact you?
So my website is called Your Journey to Lasting Love, all words.com. And so people can go there and find out about me, and they can also use the contact form on that page, or they can just email me, Marilyn at yourjourneytolastinglove.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you for taking the time today for this interview, for being in the chapter and doing all the things that you do to make a difference in our world.
Thank you, Becky. Thanks for the privilege of working with you.
It's awesome.